Hi, I'm Bill, organic specialist here at the Good Earth Garden Center on Cantrell Road. Today we're going to be talking about blueberries, specifically rabbit eye blueberries, the larger fruit that you buy in the grocery store. If you've ever been hiking on the Buffalo River, you've probably come across the native and indigenous blueberries that are real tiny and small. This is not the fruit we're talking about today. The rabbit eye berry is going to be about the size of your thumbnail, and there are several different varieties. The reason you have to select at least 3 varieties is to increase the pollination. It means we're going to increase the size of our fruit, the quantity of our fruit, and the uniformity of the ripening. So it's imperative when you go and purchase these berries that you select at least 3 different plants. So you're going to buy a minimum of 3 plants. Today we're going to talk about planting, preparing the hole. One of the things that we need to be considerate of is the fact that blueberries are very shallow rooted. So our hole really needs to be wider than it does deeper. So the roots will have an opportunity to go laterally. The other thing we need to be extremely aware of is the fact that blueberries require an acid soil. On the pH scale, we're looking for acidity that ranges from 4.5 to 4.8, which is extremely acid. The way we're going to have to affect that is by the addition of sulfur in the soil, or when we fertilize with a product called aluminum sulfate. Sulfate indicates that there's a sulfur component in the fertilizer that's going to help us drive it acid. The other thing we're going to do is use pine bark, crushed pine bark, as a soil amendment, which is going to also increase the acidity in the soil. This particular plant right here is a 1-gallon container. We can notice that we've got some cylindrical roots here. One of the things you want to do is prepare this root ball. I like to take my knife and scar it in at least 3 different locations. Some people can gently break that apart, and you'll notice if Jennifer can zoom in that the roots are extremely fine. That's why it's so important that the planting height be just above the level of the soil. Now, this is the organic compost that we sell at Good Earth. One of the components in there is the crushed pine bark. So I'm going to utilize that along with some cottonburr compost. And then if you have it available, peat moss. Sounds like a lot of soil amendments, and it is, because the plant, again, extremely fine rooted, and to be established really requires a very ideal soil mix. Now, mentioned we're going to have to plant at least 3 of those, so the spacing between the plants needs to be approximately 4 feet. Blueberries are going to grow up approximately 10 feet tall, as high as 10 feet, and approximately 4 feet wide. So they need quite a bit of space initially for them to develop. As you can notice on these plants, they're already flowering. Everywhere we've got a flower, we're going to have fruit. It's not a condition on a blueberry, regardless of the size, when it's ready to fruit. So we're going to have fruit this year. For demonstration purposes, I'm just going to show you. You always want to crown this plant where the root ball is slightly above ground. That's extremely important, that you not bury the plant too deep and you don't get any heavy soil right on top of the root ball. The aluminum sulfate that we use for fertilizer, want to do that starting in March at 30 to 45 day increments, and I want you to fertilize at least 3 times during the first growing season. Final component would be watering in. Water is critical. Because the soil is so well drained, you're going to have to give this plant copious amounts of water, which means a lot. Late in the spring, the blueberries are going to ripen. Tremendous, tasteful fruit, high in antioxidants, certain, how should I say, enhancement properties as far as a man is concerned. It's been associated as the the Viagra fruit. Can't testify to that personally, but I do love them, especially like to put them in the freezer and have them a little kind of crunchy frozen on my ice cream. Till next time, this is Bill, Good Earth signing off. Thank you.